Evening. Tonight, just got to be doing some more work on my game Ghost Blaster. First of all, going to add in some collectible coins, and then the treasure chest that I created on the last live stream I did. I'm going to be adding that in and hooking that up so that it opens when the player bumps into it, and then hopefully try and get some of these coins, collectible coins, then spawning. So we'll make a start. We'll create a new area 2D scene, and we'll just call that coin. We'll give that a collision shape. And for now we'll set that to a rectangle 2D. We'll give it a sprite. And we'll just save the scene. I'll pop it in scenery. New folder. Coin. While I'm in here, I'll just make a folder to save the texture in that I'll be importing in a minute. Right, so let's add the coin sprite that I've drawn in. Remember where I saved it. That's the actual coin that I've drawn that I'm going to be importing in. It's just a gold coin that I'll spin around when I animate it. Right, where did I save that? I've not done a normal map for this as yet, so I'll do that at some point, but probably not tonight. Just struggling finding where I've actually saved it. Oh, there it is. So if we have a look in textures now, that coin should be there. So we'll drag that into the texture. With Godot, it doesn't automatically import pixel art correctly, so so as you can see, it's come in, it's a little bit blurry, so you just need to re-import it with the 2D pixel, and then it sharpens it all up. So it's got 8 horizontal frames. Next we'll add the animation player in so that we can animate this. And we'll create a new one and just call it coin spin. And what we've got to do is animate the sprite. So in Godot you can animate lots of things, from scale of things, positions, with sprites of different frames. So it's pretty powerful, the animation player. So we'll add that in and create a new track on the animation. And we'll do a keyframe from frame 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I'll make the animation 0.9 in length. I will make that loop. I think it needs to be 0.8 because it had a little bit of a stutter at the end. Right, there's our animation created. Right, what we need to do is make that collision shape just a little bit bigger so that it'll be easier for the player to collect. Let's make sure pixel snap's turned on. I've got grid snap turned on there for some reason. So next up we'll add a script to it so that when the player collides with it we can collect the coin. So let's get VS Code opened up and just find the coin that I've just added. There we go. Get rid of the placeholder stuff that comes in by default. It's got very similar to the amulet piece that we've got. We've got to be hooking up a signal like this. So I'm just got to copy that, save typing it all in again. What we'll do, we'll add that in and we'll call it on coin body entered. At the moment I'll just comment that out. I always forget because it's forward slashes in a lot of languages that I use. I always forget it's a hash sign in this. So what this will do, when I hook it up to the signal, when the player enters, or any physics body enters, it'll check if it's a player. I store the player in a global variable just for easy checking, and then it'll destroy the coin. Right, so we'll hook that up. So just copy that for now. So the coin will go to the node, the collision shape, and we'll go to the body entered one. And we'll connect it to that onCoin body entered function that I set up. So that's now hooked up. Whenever the player enters that, it'll destroy the coin. So we'll just test that out. Just with in my test room. So if we instance a copy of the coin in here. The coin. Just move it a bit to the left so I can actually grab it. I'll just pop it down here. Now when I run this and when the player goes into it, hopefully if everything's working correctly, it'll disappear. Yeah, so that's a collectible coin functioning. All we need to do, as you probably noticed, the animation's not playing. What I like to do is do it in the on ready, and then you know it's definitely going to play instead of ticking the checkbox. So it's animation player dot play and coin spin. So now when we play that scene, the coin should be spinning. Yep, there we go. So the player can collect the coin. Right, so we'll add a global variable to keep track of the coins that the player collects. So I'll go to my global. This is just where I keep a singleton, and it's where I keep all the sort of variables that I want to keep track of. Like the player respawn position, that keeps track of the last player respawn collider the player's gone through, so when they die they'll respawn there. And we'll just call this coins collected, and that's going to be an int. So I don't know whether to do the logic here or as a signal. I think just here will be fine. I'll just add a note there, because at some point I'm going to have to create a collection of effect. What do I actually call that? Yeah, it should be game global dot. What did I call it? Coins collected. So when they hit it, it'll update that coins collected variable, so we can keep track of the coins that they collect. I'll just add a couple more into the room and we'll just check that that's working. Play that. And if we go in here, we can keep track of the variables. It's currently 0. Now we collect 1, it goes to 1. Another 1 up to 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go, we're collecting coins and keeping track of them. So next I'll going to import the treasure chest, and then get the functionality for that working. Let's check whether I actually imported that last time or not, can't remember. Yes, I did. So we've got treasure chest here. It's just got 2 animation frames. one closed and then one open. So it's going to be again very similar to this, apart from the fact that it's not going to be destroyed. So the chest will open, not the scene, the what we'll do, we'll add a boolean, I think, just to check whether it's already open or not, because we don't want to be opening it and spawning things if it's already open. So chest open, that's a bool, and we'll set that initially to false. Right, so what we'll do, we'll check if, and that's entered, if it's a player, and actually we'll change that to chest closed, and we'll set that to true initially. Then we'll just do a check. It makes more sense to check if it's closed and then do the things. Then we set the sprite frame to the second one. Sure, it just had 2 frames. Yeah, so I've got open and closed. So we'll get a reference to the sprite. Did I call it sprite? Yeah, it's still called sprite, so get a reference to the sprite, and its sprite frame equals 1. So that should now, when the player makes contact with the chest, it'll check if it is the player, and if the chest closed, and it'll set the frame to 1. And we also want to set that chest closed to false, so that we're not doing the logic again. Hi Joseph, how are you doing? Thanks for coming along. Just doing a bit more work on Ghost Blaster. Just currently setting up a coin collection and a chest that I did on stream last time to actually function in the game. So I'll just get rid of one of those, and we'll just instance in the scene the chest. I'll just drag that down here. Now hopefully when we play this, if it's all working, then the chest will open. No, it doesn't, because I forgot to do one simple thing. I forgot to hook up the collider to the function. So body entered. Pretty sure that's what it was called. Yep, chest body entered. So that's now hooked up. So this time, hopefully when we come in contact with that chest, it will open. Yep, there we go. So we've got the coin collecting working, keeping track of that. The chest opens. What I suppose we need to do now is get all the sort of spawning of the coins sorted out as well. I'm doing good. I was just going through tutorials on Unity. What tutorials are you doing? Are you quite new to Unity, or is it something you've been using for a while? Right, I just need to have a check how to do this. I'm still quite new to Godot, so I'm learning quite a bit as I go along. What we'll do first, we'll do it by sending a signal, and we'll spawn it from there. So we'll create a new signal, and we'll call it spawn coin. I'm really new to Unity. I was just going through Bracky's first game tutorials. Yeah, they're really good, their tutorials. I have used Unity every now and then, and I know I used some of their tutorials when I first started. They were really good. Shame they stopped making them, but I suppose they're there forever, and they're still quite relevant even to the newer versions of Unity. Spawn coin. Thinking I could probably reuse one of these, because this spawn effect one just spawns literally in effect and passed in a game object in position, so I think actually I'm just going to reuse that, because currently the player uses that signal quite a bit. Let's just find where it uses it. Make signal spawn effect. So yeah, that there passes through what you need to spawn the position. So that's really what I'm needing to do with the chest. So spawn effect, and with the player, that's the jump effect that it's spawning, but it's the same sort of thing. So I'll just copy that. I don't know much about code, which I want to change, but it's very informative about C# and how everything works. Yeah, have you used other engines that don't use code before, or is it totally new sort of to game dev as well? Or, because I know I've predominantly used Construct 3, and every now and then dabbled in other other engines, and therefore with code. Right, so vaccine coin, and a preload. Normally auto completes, it's not doing for some reason, so we'll just do it manually. So I'm going to do it in the editor in Godot. Maybe that's why it's not auto completing. Just see if it'll auto complete for me in here. Yep, that's better. Character, it's not in characters, it's in scenery. Probably would have been quicker just doing it. There we go. Coin scene, so that just stores a copy of the coin scene for us. And then when we emit this signal, I thought I'd actually already put that in VS Code, did I not save? I haven't used anything else. I've messed with Unity before years ago, but I was really young and didn't understand what I was doing. I have Godot installed, but I've been going through Unity. Yeah, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. I think an engine's just as good as you feel using it. I've used Unity, Construct, Godot, and Unity. It's never really clicked with me, but it doesn't mean it's a bad engine because tons of people use it. It's not for me, I don't think. Right, so it's spawn effect. And we'll pass it the coin. And for now, just the global position of the chest will do just to get this working. So that'll call that. Get the game object, the position. And then I have an effects spawner that sort of spawns all the effects, so they're always spawned on top of other things in the scene tree. Because Godot just uses everything's a node and it's all in a tree. Right. Let's find my effects spawner script. Don't think I'll actually have to do anything in that. Where are we? Effect spawner. Yeah, on spawn effect, it'll get the game object that I'm passing it, the position, then it'll just create an instance of that and pop that in the screen. So hopefully that should just work out the box for me now. I'm not so sure coding's what I should probably be doing on stream because I'm still quite slow at it with Godot. I'll mess with Godot one day, but I've been trying to learn with Unity. I've been learning as I go, but I'm making a plan on doing something and guess I'll go from there. So if you've got a game idea that you're wanting to make, and is it 2D or 3D that you're using? So hopefully this will now... Right, I've done something wrong. Identify me, that piece number isn't declining. Right, why is it saying that? Can't find anything in there that says amulet piece. Coin. Right, I seem to have run into some form of error here because sometimes does this when I'm using VS Code and the editor. I should really stick with one or the other. Right, let's close that. I'm going to close Godot, reopen it and see if that fixes it. Hi Fineline, you alright? Try making lots of little prototypes rather than something big each prototype. But try picking up something new. Yeah, that's good advice, that. Yeah, kind of, but I need to write everything down and make a plan. I'm thinking on starting with 3D, because when I was trying 2D I was having trouble with Unity. Yeah, I think Unity is good for 3D. Fineline, he uses Unity. Right, let's restart Godot and try and hopefully fix that issue that we were having. I'm thinking of trying 2D so I can get a feel for it. Yeah, 2D is normally easier to learn because you've not got that third axis that you need to worry about. Right, let's see if this is working now. Sometimes with Godot you just have to come out of it and go back into it and it starts working, so nope. Can't preload resource at path. Try that again. Don't know why that's doing that. Preload. Probably something really obvious that I'm doing wrong here, but yeah, I know what I'm doing because I'm talking. I'm put it all in the coin script instead of the chess script. Right, we'll redo this. Well, I know 2D is easier. I think trying to do something in 3D would be fun. Oh yeah, definitely. I keep saying I'm going to do 3D, but I'm always doing 2D. You're looking at VR material at the moment. Private was Flash. What are you up to tonight, Sticks? And I'm going for having fun while learning. Oh yeah, the whole point of it. There's no point in doing anything if you're not enjoying it and having fun. Right, we'll just sort out this mess up that I've made here. Maybe, like I was saying, coding and talking ain't what I should be doing. And then if we copy in that we had before, get rid of that line, pop that in there. Right, let me just check this, what I've done. So we're getting a copy of the coin scene. The chest closed and it's a player that's overlapping. Set sprite frame to 1, chest closed false, and then spawn a coin. Right, I'm hoping that this time that'll work. I'm just keeping up a game of Dead by Daylight. Are you playing as killer or? Right, I think that did spawn it, but straight away I collected it, so I'll just... Yeah, so it's spawning a coin. So I'm happy with that functionality for now. It's not spawning in exactly the position. And I need to have a think about how I'm going to spawn it, because I'd like to spawn it so that it 4 or 5 coins fire out sort of in sort of a fountain sort of firework effect. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that and think about that while I'm on stream talking. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of pixel art now, I think. So we'll go over to A Sprite. Sticks, have you made a 3D game? Going Survivor game. Set this time of night, take 5 to 10 minutes to get in. Yeah, I know I've said before, that's why I never got into that game, because whenever I got into a game, I only tried it once, but after half an hour I hadn't even managed to play a game, because the 2 or 3 I'd got into, I'd got kicked out of. So not for me. Right, what we'll draw some scenery items, so I think we'll start off maybe just drawing a sword to hang on the wall. Now let's load my palette that I'm using the AAP 64 palette. So I've just got 64 colours and everything's been used with that in this game. And I've made the sprite the wrong size. Still made it the wrong size. Right, so let's first of all get a rough sword shape out. These are just going to be swords that are hung on the wall. I've made several 3D games. What sort of a question with that fine line? Of course Sticks has made a 3D games. Sticks has made all sorts of games. Probably not ever finished them, but just get a rough shape for this sword to begin with. And once we've got a rough silhouette that I'm happy with, then I've made AR games and a VR walking style game too. What was that sort of Pokemon Go type thing, the walking style game? It's looking more like a cross than a sword, but we want it with a pop that back in. And I've made board games. Daisy VR, I guess board games count at 4D. did have some reference images for these swords, so it's probably maybe best if I get those open. If I can find where I actually saved my references for Pure Ref. No, I can't, so used any more of the pixel art to 3D tool by Kenny. I had a quick go of it the day that I did the stream. I played around with it that night. Didn't particularly make anything amazing out of it, but I'm thinking I may use it for the game jam if an idea comes to mind, but I'm not too sure. But no, I'm definitely got to go back to it though, because I think especially the sort of niggly little things that I found with it when I was using it, like the lack of undo and flood fill, and maybe if the depth got a bit more, then I think it could be a really, really good tool, that one. Ken Shape, anybody in chat doesn't know the tool that Fine Line's mentioning. It was, I think it was only about £4 when the conversion from dollars was done, so, or euros, whatever it was in. Roughly happy with that shape, so let's give it a bit of colour. Go with that. Maybe a goldy coloured handle. We'll give it a dark border like I've been giving everything. I'll just check because I've not been giving everything in the background a dark border because I don't want them to stand out. So I'll see what I did with the shields and I'll do these in the same style. If they've got a dark border, I'll give them one. If not, I won't. Yep, I gave those ones, so I'll do the same with the sword for consistency. Because there was smell involved. Smell is the fourth dimension, right? Yeah, it must be. We'll get a darker ready colour for that. too sure about this, whether I'm happy with it or not. I think once it gets in game it'll look fine. So what we shall do is make that double the size. I'm having to make all my sprites double the size because I initially did them all sort of based on 16 pixel squares, but I always had the plan that I'd probably upgrade the graphics to 32, so everything was drawn sort of 16 squares, and then I doubled it so that the project was all set up ready for when I upscaled the graphics. But I've decided against that. I'm happy with the size that they are. So we'll save that as a PNG. I'll just pop ×2 so that I know that that one's been doubled. Next what we'll do, we'll load Lighter up and I'll get a normal map created for this as well. So this is Lighter for those that have not seen it. Just a suggestion, maybe make the grip a little bigger. Yeah, that could be what's missing from it. Let's give that a quick. Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe just too thick. Yeah, I'm liking that a bit more already, just being that little bit narrow. What do people think? Narrower like that? Or a bit thicker like that? Anyone got any preference? Thick? Or narrow? I think I'm going to keep it like that for now. And whether now we've made it a little bit longer, whether to get rid of those bits. Yeah, I'm happy with that now. Yeah, the screen hasn't changed. You can't see what I'm actually doing. Yeah, so now that we can see it again, I've made it slightly higher and I've put these in bits in. So that was it thin. Oh, that was it thicker again. I think I'm going to stick with it thicker, unless I can only see the schoolboy. Yep. The schoolboy's a schoolboy error. Yeah, I'll get my coat. Right, we'll stick with that one, I think. So let's double the size again. And save that. And now we'll go back to the skull. Yeah, I think that looks great. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it does look better with that extra little bit of length on the handle. So this is a lighter, it's called, if anyone that's not seen it. It's a 2D normal map generation tool. It creates normal maps just based on a 2D sprite. It gives various results, so I may have to manually just do a bit more shading on the sword that I've done. But I'll load up a previous one that I've done with the settings that I want. And then we'll load in the sword that I've just created. Get rid of that one. And you see it creates a normal map based on the sprite. I think that one's going to be fine. Sometimes when you've got a couple of different colours in the sprite, it can have some weird effects with when it's calculating the heights, but that's not done too bad a job. The dark bits are sort of the top and left side edges, and the lighter bits are sort of reflect light from below. So we'll export that. It also creates occlusion maps and specular and a parallax map as well, which I won't be using. I think there is some way in here that you can actually preview it. I forget how to do it. I'll just see if I can remember. Yeah, I'm sure there's some way to drag a light around in it, but I can't remember how that actually works. But we've got that normal map now, so we shall go back to Godot and we'll create a new scene and then get those imported. So this scene, it doesn't need any interactivity whatsoever, it's just going to be a background item, so we'll just use a sprite as the base scene for it. And we'll call that sword. What I'll probably do is I'll have a quick look at some reference images and probably do a few different swords. And then, like with the shields, I've got about a dozen shields, all different colours. And it just, the game randomly, whenever I put a shield in it, it randomly chooses one of those just to give some variety to the levels. So scenery, we'll add a new folder. Keep things organised with sword. And then a folder under that to put the textures in. Just the way I like to work. All my items have the script and the scene, and then a subfolder with textures in. It's a sword, a weapon, collectible or aesthetic. It's just a background item, a bit like the shields that I've done. It'll just be sort of hung on the wall for now. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. Yeah, the normal maps. It's a normal map you're not sure what are, Joseph. So I'll save this in the sword. And next we'll import the sword sprite in there. Maybe you could make a halberd if I spell that correctly. You may have. I think I'm knowing what you mean. I'll Google it in a minute, and I'm presuming it's a type of sword, if it's what I'm thinking of. Right, I'm just looking for where I've saved that sword, and then I'll copy that into Godot. So I've got the sword, and then copy those in there. And then, as before, we'll have to re-import those as 2D pixel art so that they're not blurred. So we'll drag the sword into the texture and the normal map into the normal map. I don't know what map is referring to. Yeah, normal map. It sort of fakes 3D sort of surfaces. It fakes how light sort of bounces off, so the darker areas the light will bounce off as if it's like the top edge or something, or the light areas it'll bounce off like it's the bottom edge and things like that. It's like a texture, and a normal map is for reflecting light a certain direction so it looks more 3D but without additional polygons. Yeah, exactly. I'm using them in 2D, but they are used in 3D a lot. You'll make a really detailed model in 3D, and then you'll make a lower polygon version, but you'll bake a normal map from the higher one and then use that on the lower poly model to fake that it's got more detail than it actually has. I think I've explained that well. So there, we've got a sword now. We'll just move that up there so it's... I think I've actually been putting everything... No, I'll leave it central. So let's just have a quick check what that looks like in a level. And I think I'm going to do a little bit more work on this level next, because I've still got all the background scenery to pop in, so while I'm adding this sword in, I might as well get that done as well. I've still got a few room types to make. I think I've made about at least one proper room for probably about 7 or 8 of them, but there's all these different room types. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different types of room that make up the map. So it's a combination of different exits so they all fit together and randomly create a level. At the moment it's got to be 4x4 grid, but I can change that in code, so I might have different difficulty levels. Oh, that's cool. I haven't had to use a map yet, but I'll look out for it. Yeah, you don't need to use them. It's especially if you're doing, say, something low poly and you just wanted flat shapes. It's just a way of faking. It's performance reasons. You need less polygons, but it looks the same. Yeah, exactly that. Now I'll just move that chest over because I want that to be in this hidden room over here. I don't know if any of you caught my last live stream where I was creating the hidden rooms, but I'll just show you how roughly that'll work. I think it's been in one of my devlogs as well. Right, it's not working at all. Why is that? Maybe I won't show you. It's because I've confused myself. The fake room is actually further over here. See, it's such a good fake, I can't even tell where it is. So I'll make that visible again. Hi, what heap? You alright? How are you today? So yeah, the fake room, when you go over it, it fades in and out. And we've got the chest there working out, spawning 1 coin at the moment. As I was saying earlier, that will spawn like a firework of coins, which I'm planning, it's going to be a mobile game, so the mechanics are going to be quite mobile based. You'll be able to, if you die in, say, one of the lava pits or something, you'll be given the option to spend maybe 50, 100 coins that you've collected to respawn and carry on the level. It's going to be, the aim of the game's got to be probably unlocking things like various skins for the player, some probably different monsters and ghosts as the game goes on, and these will all be bought by the coins that you collect from within the game, and there'll be targets like achievements for completing a certain number of levels. You'll get achievements and you'll complete a level by collecting what the 4 amulet pieces that allow a portal to open, and then you escape from the game. So that's roughly the idea. I'm going to probably not put in-app purchases to buy the gold. It'll purely be through playing the game that you collect them. Right, so we've got the chest in there. Don't actually need these coins in, so I'll remove those. And then we'll get drawing out a little bit of the leveling. So we'll hide that so I can draw. We'll get the background layer. Get the tiles and make a start drawing. I am looking forward to when Godot 4 comes out, because it's meant to have a random tile sort of thing. So you'd choose, say, I make all the walls out of these 5 tiles, but I have to manually randomise them. Whereas you'll be able to select a certain number and just flood fill, and it'll just randomly place them. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a big time saver. But for now, she'll do it this way. And randomly put some of these other ones in. And then ground level I have these little couple of different designs of those. I was thinking of doing more, but I think 2's probably enough. That sounds awesome. Oh, cheers, Joseph. I'm hoping it'll be as awesome as it sounds, but we shall see. I've been working on this far too long already. I really do need to get cracking and try and get it finished over the next few months. Right, so we'll move some of these lights. Right, where did the fake room start? Because I don't want the light overlapping that. Another thing I need to fix at the moment, this fake room isn't, this wall down this left hand side here isn't affected by the lights. I'm not sure whether to leave that and that be the way you tell there's a fake room in places, or whether to make it affected by light and have something else like maybe a glow. But if you like look at this wall here, the light reflects on it, which is, that's what the normal maps are doing. they're making the light sort of reflect on this corner, whereas this one over here doesn't. So I am thinking that that's possibly a good way of making you realise there's a room there, but it might just be being lazy. Need to get that coin to spawn behind there as well, because that didn't look very good. Yep, everything's spawned by this effect spawner, so if I move that above the tile map, the fake room, that should now spawn the coin behind it. Yep, that's better. Will it be free or paid? I think it'll be free. I think unless you've got a really big game, I think selling something on mobile, especially Androids, probably a big ask for when you've not got a track record of lots of games, maybe. I said it once and I'll say it again, those normal maps I can't get enough of. Yeah, I'm really enjoying using them. They definitely add some atmosphere to the game. Right, back to the background. I need to put background behind these tiles because there's a transparent edge there that shows black if it doesn't have a colour behind it. I'll just do all these while I remember. You streaming this week? What, Eep? Enjoyed your stream the other night. Right, let's carry on filling in this background up here. So I should just be able to flood fill that area because it should all be enclosed. No, it's not. Hopefully now I can. Don't know where the gap is because I bet it's there. That's strange. The flood fill should just flood fill that area because I've got it totally enclosed, but strange. I'm sorry, I was sending a voice message. I just heard my name. Well, I was just asking if you were streaming again this week, and just saying how really enjoyed your stream the other night. Randomly put some of those ones in. Same with these. Just randomly pop them about. Quite a monotonous process this. And of however many rooms I said I had, I'm planning on doing it for when I launch the game at least 5 different rooms for each type. So, and some appear a lot more than others in the algorithm, like a room with a left and right exit, or a left and bottom exit appears a lot more than, say, one that's just got a top or a bottom exit. So the ones that are more common, I'll probably try and maybe do 7 or 8 different ones at least by the time the game launches. So it's got to involve a lot of creating levels like this. Is this game got to be level based, or has it got to be a single room subdivided world? I'll show you. It's randomly generated, and it's going to, you'll just play through it once. You've got to collect 4 amulet pieces, which are hidden throughout the level. Once you've got those, then you have to find the exit portal, which you then escape from the haunted castle. And it's just going to be, you play the game and it's a different level every single time. I'll just show you. I can show you the full level sort of being generated. So I'll just change the camera and open the player scene. Remove that. Right, now if I play the game, so that's a level. At the minute I've got it generating on a 4x4 grid, and it just randomly chooses from all these rooms. For example, the left and right one's got a few in. So each one of these is a room, and it randomly chooses one of these 3 different varieties of this left-right exit room. So we've got that one, and that one, and it randomly chooses them. And then creates a level. It's a random walker. It starts here and moves in available directions, creates a path from here to somewhere on the bottom row. Then it fills in the extra rooms after to make a fully joined up level. So each time I generate it, it'll generate a slightly different, not that much different because I've not got that many types of room at the moment, but see, it just generates a different map each time. And I can change the size of it anytime I want. I'll say at the minute it's 4x4, but all I have to do is pass in a different grid size and it'll generate a map of any size I want. 3x3s work. Any smaller than that, they can end up just being a couple of rooms, but could, if I want, to do a 50x50 grid and it'd generate it. Wouldn't it be easier to make a script that accesses the tile map to flood fill the background with those background wall tiles? Yeah, it probably would. Or maybe consider doing that. But I don't know the year before when I mentioned the next version of Godot's meant to have a random flood fill anyway. Can you not write a script? Yep. 2 great minds there with the same idea. Okay, I see, it makes sense. I like that. Oh, cheers. So I'll just change these cameras back. So yeah, just running the game now. You can't get the whole way through the level all the time, but this is sort of... we've got a bullet that fires. These curtains move. See the shields on the wall? They're just random design. This room I've not done because it's not got any proper backgrounds. I've got the lifts. We've got these slime drips. They kill you when they touch you and send you back to the last spawn point where you've been. It's things like that where I plan on giving the player the option to spend the gold coins they've collected to carry on if they want. There's one of the amulet pieces. They don't all spawn at the minute because not every room's got the locations in there to spawn them, but you can collect those. At the minute I've just got 2 enemy types in there. There's just that ghost that goes backwards and forwards. I've killed myself. And I have got another enemy that just carries a bomb, and when you get close to it, he just keeps running in your direction until you kill him. But I have plans for lots of other enemies. So all the rooms, I just build in this room that I've got. I call it my builder room, and I've got it set up with all the things to make it look like you're running the entire game, but it just runs in one scene, so I can play test each individual room as I do it, just to check that you can get everywhere in it. But you've got me thinking now about this script. I think I'm going to have to have a look into that, see if I can write something that will flood fill it. Are you streaming again in the morning, Sticks? Anyone interested, Sticks Media's been streaming on Twitch in the morning this week. He normally just streams weekends, but he's been doing morning streams from about 7, half 7. And he's been making overlays for streamers for Twitch and things. He's been working on a really cool diner, American diner sort of inspired theme. So if anyone's looking for overlays, then Sticks as your man. And also, while I've got a few people in chat, we've got a game jam. Our local indie game squad group's got a game jam coming up, which I'll throw up, and people can, if anyone wants to sign up for it, it's open to anyone. It's really casual affair. We've got Discord, and we just all chat, and anyone needs any help with anything, then it's not a problem. So that is Game Jam 192 episode 2. It starts in 22 days, just over. That's the 2nd of April to the 10th. So it's 192 hours long. Pedro Panache, a Twitch streamer, is going to be coming up with the theme for the jam. I've currently got 13 people joined, so anybody else that wants to join, feel free. It's on itch. Nice, I join in, but I've got classes in the morning. But what that means that if you've got classes in the morning, you've not got classes in the afternoon. Randomly throw these other shapes about. Looks like an amazing jam. Yeah, have you not heard about that one before, Sticks? I've heard it's got a really good heritage, sort of with its past winners have been very talented people. I could try, but I don't know if I could succeed. Give it a go, Joseph. Like I say, it's not particularly competitive. It's just all about the fun of taking part. And I find with jams that it spurs you on to actually do something and complete it. And some of the ideas you can come up with when you've given a weird theme, it's really cool. No classes at night time. Lol, that's right, yep. It's about taking part and seeing what you can do. Yeah, definitely. I'll look into the jam. Very modest as well. Yeah, what Fine Line's referring to there is that I've won the last two. But I've been reliably informed that this time Fine Line is going to win it. He's got to bring his A game this time. Cool, I might join if I can get more experience with Unity. Yeah, once you get a little bit of experience, you can probably make a simple game that's fun. Just focus on one simple mechanic and then quite easily build a game, even with a small amount of knowledge. I'll pop the link in the video description, Joseph, after, and then if you want to sign up, say you're more than welcome. Right, let's add a few of these windows in. As you can see here, I've got a light there that's sort of for these windows, so I'll add a few of these in. It's just sort of a light effect, moonlight effect that I've got. Again, the normal maps are making it work. I think I'm actually going to bring one of the slime hazards in here. I think that might look quite cool just on this bit. So we'll instance a scene of the slime drips. So it's Godot. It's just a bit like your prefabs in Unity. You can just bring a scene in. And I say it's all just like a tree-based system. So now if I drag the player over here, that'll just work out of the box. Or it should do anyway, watch it, it won't. So you just instance it in the scene and straight away it just works. Player gets hit and he dies, but the respawn point's there, which is probably not the best place to have that. Where is the game jam? Yeah, the jam, it's all online. It's spawned originally from, we used to have a local physical game jam in Elgin in Scotland, and at Murray College. It was 48 hours, and it was just really good fun. You'd just go along, sleep in the college over the weekend. But then that got stopped, and we were going to do our own physical jam with the game squad. But then COVID hit, and ever since, everything's just gone online. So we've just been doing them online. These jams are all really low pressure. We have all skill levels taking part, no restriction on game engines, technology, and there's a good little community on the Discord. Yeah, totally that. Want me to share the link? Yeah, if you want to bung the link in chat, I think it allows you on here. If you want to share the link to the Discord as well, Sticks. So we'll move that light a bit now. Do need to make a lot more scenery items and different types of lights for this, because at the moment I've not got a lot of things to be adding into these levels, so would it be fine if I follow tutorials to make a game all? Yeah, 100%. That's what Sticks was saying. Sort of really any skill levels. It's all just get the theme, and if there's a tutorial and you want to make a game, and just fit it to the theme. And just try to think what the themes have been. The Game Jam 192 number 1 that we did last year, the theme was when we were young. So sort of made games sort of around that theme. I made a platformer, 80s kid. If you're following, say, something like a platformer tutorial, you can pretty much stretch that to any theme going. And I can't remember for the life of me what the second theme was for the Jamoween one that we did in October. No. That's the whole point of game jams. You learn from each other, ask questions, get feedback, and just have fun hacking something together. Yeah. And there's, I say, if you join the Discord as well, there's plenty of people using various game engines. There's quite a few people use Unity, and if you get stuck with anything, we're all happy to have a go, try to help. Decided to do it over 8 days, 192 hours, so everyone can join in. You can use a full 8 days or an hour here and there. It's really no pressure. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Some people book week off work so that they can do more. Some people just maybe start halfway through. We've had people do, so it's just whatever fits in. It's just a fun experience. Jamoween was Death is Not the End, it's only the beginning. Sure it was. Yeah, so I made for that a game based on Tapper, the old arcade game. But instead of drinks and things, you were catching a coffin that was delivered, and you had to put that into a furnace to get the ashes back, and then send the ashes down another like bar top to the grieving widow, who then threw money back down. Discord links are on the itch page. Yeah, sure. I forgot about that. Right, where were we? Find the scenery section. If I've got one there, and we will add a shield in. The reason why I keep manually typing in a transform whenever I spawn something in the scene up there, there's quite a lot of things in that area and it never sort of seems to click on the right one, so I just move it out to the left so I can click on it and drag it. Just with that being the root of the scene, it's where a lot of things end up. So that shield's green, but it'll randomly pick one of these instances of it when it loads. They all have the same normal map, but just a different diffuse texture over the top. Right, I shall just move that respawn zone away from so we will leave that there. We'll just move these over instead. So if the player dies, he'll respawn there if he's passed through that box. We definitely need to find assets as soon as possible for whatever theme it is. I'm a horrible artist. Well, Kenny's assets are always good. OpenGameArt.org. I don't know whether you've used that site, Joseph. That's good for finding graphics and stuff. And Itch has got a lot of free game assets as well on there now as well. Plus using Unity, I suppose, as the asset store as well, which has a lot of paid and free stuff on there. Right, let's add some more lights in. Thinking I may add a slime pit or a spike pit in up here. I've not done any of those for a while, so I can't remember exactly how I constructed them. We'll do a spike pit, I think. So it's like that. Could probably do with making this as an actual scene that I could instance wherever I want instead of drawing it individually, but it uses quite a lot, uses tile map objects, so I'll get rid of those. One. Is it 3 down? 1, 2, 3, the spikes. Where are we? So we'll instance some of the spikes. For some reason this hazard, I don't think that's actually at 0. No, it's not. So I'll pop that back at 0. Right, now where's my slime drip gum? Let's reposition that. OpenGameArt.org, I think it is. There you go, that's the link. And that's a link to the jam as well. Right, let's continue making this spike pit. So yeah, and that's the other enemy I've got in the spider, which I didn't mention earlier. It just sort of moves around these points. So that's 7 wide. Close some of these down so I can see what I'm doing better. Remove that and that. Fill that in with some background tiles. Joined, thank you, joined. Oh, brilliant. You won't regret it, it'll be a good laugh. And hopefully it'll be our most successful one so far. It's Unity you use as well, isn't it, Watty? Keep having to check how I constructed these with which tiles because I want them to be consistent across the various rooms. I'm going to have to superstar what he, yeah. I'm going to have to gain a lot of experience in a short amount of time. Don't feel any pressure, Joseph. Just enjoy it. Yeah, I'm on Unity for now. What are you? Are you eyeing up another game engine? What heap? Yeah, you're not like me, are you? Who is always looking at a different engine. I'm known for jumping around between Construct and Godot, Unity, to name but a few. Had a respawn zone up here. I think I'll pop it over here, and I think I'll add a barrel in. You'll be fine, honestly. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Joseph, what kind of experience do you have so far? I think a game jam's a very good way to get your feet wet. Yeah, it does. You can really get a small scoped project and really get it done in a short space of time, and really focuses you, instead of maybe biting off something that's bigger to begin with. Brackish tutorials. Keep it simple and have fun, definitely. I'm pretty conflicted about Unity at the moment, even though it's my main engine. What is it that you're feeling conflicted about? My problem with it, that I've never clicked with Unity, is I just think for a lot of things it just seems too bloated, and just there's too much there. That's why I like Godot. It's such a small download and it's just very simple. Hi Emma, thanks for joining. I think it's also worth mentioning that you don't have to do the jam alone. If you have people you know that have skills you need, you can team up. Yeah, definitely, it isn't just an individual thing. If you want to do it in a team, if you have friends or anyone that you want that are into game dev and you want to do it in a team with them, that's fine. It's a mixture of solo devs and teams, although it's predominantly been solo devs last time, I think, but that's the best way to get some experience, in my opinion, to follow a complete series step by step, so you get to learn the engine without risking overscoping. Yeah, and I think then once you've completed the tutorial, then maybe make small changes to the game you've made, just to make it your own and learn a few different things. You've got a base there to start from that you can make adjustments to and sort of see how things work and fit in. Barrel. Need to draw some more of these barrels as well, because I want to add a few different scenery items of this type that they're mainly just to block things and give you safe areas to go. Where's my respawn zones? I shall pop that up there because I'm going to have an enemy patrolling backwards and forwards on this bit. So we'll instance the ghost, seeing as that's pretty much the only enemy I've got of that type at the moment. I think that'll maybe be my next stream, creating some different enemies and getting them added into the game. I've got some ideas for various enemies. I don't think that's... So if I drop that guy in there, he'll just move backwards and forwards between the edge of that pit and this barrel and just turn backwards and forwards. We'll actually have to move that further over because I know that the player probably from the top of that wouldn't be able to jump over onto that. But again, that's something that the good thing of this level creation system I've got, I can play test the entire room that I'm creating and just check for things like that. Now we'll add a little platform in here. You can jump. To check which are my platform tiles, because they look very similar to the ones for the edges of things, but they've just got a slight transparent indent in them. I think up here we'll have another slime dripping down. She must be Emma Smith Hunter. She must indeed. Right, we'll also bring in a spider enemy to go around this platform. At the moment this spider only goes around a set size platform. I need to make it so that I can drag these image points about and it'll calculate its own route based on where those are, but at the moment I've not got around to doing that. It works just with a tween. It tweens from position to position and rotates when it gets to each one. So if I put the player there now, and I can just play test what I've done. What are you up to tonight, Emma? You been doing any of your crochet? So yeah, the ghost just goes backwards and forwards. These spiders, they just keep going around there. At the moment, they don't kill the player. But they will be lethal for the player to touch. We can kill them though. So hopefully when we fall in this spike pit, we should respawn back over here if it's working. Yeah. Same with if we get killed by those, we go back to that respawn plot point that we put in. Need to put my tile maps behind there because they're a bit dark still. On the other thing that I was working on stream last time, I finished off the stained glass windows. Anybody that was watching that stream, so I'll add one of those in just so you can see what it turned out like. It didn't. I've not done the normal maps for it yet, if I remember rightly, but I finished the actual art, the art for the sprite. Scenery items. So yeah, I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's getting there. I've sort of looked at some reference images, but I don't mind this top bit, but I think this bit and the gravestone could still probably need a little bit of tweaking. And then obviously I still need to do the normal map so that the light reflects. And I've got to do light with the moonlight from the other windows. I've got to do a light that comes down picking up some of these colours to shine out below it. Trying out a new crochet stitch. Is there more than one? Showing my ignorance there. Right, just try and finish this off, and then that'll probably be it for me on the stream tonight. Probably another 5-10 minutes, and then thought I've made those swords tonight, so I'll add one of those onto the wall as well. Yeah, the normal maps actually, I never checked that before, but the normal maps actually work quite well. You can see the light sort of affecting the blade and everything. It's quite cool. I do like my normal maps. Yeah, there's loads. Oh well, I learned something new. I thought it was all just one thing, but yeah, Emma does quite a lot of crochet. She's setting up a shop, or have you set up a shop already? Duplicate the shield, and we'll maybe move those slightly across. I've sort of a sword shield combo going on. That spawn point, that's where the amulet pieces spawn. However many of those I put in the level, it randomly chooses what, if this is a room that's going to have an amulet piece in, it'll randomly choose to spawn it at one of these places. So I'll pop that there. Don't actually think that goes very well on this level, so I'll remove that for now. Let's just see what this top bit looks like. So you can see there that it's created two different random shields. The sword, I'm still not 100% happy with that. I think I'll probably have to do some work on that, but just duplicate a few more of these. Put one there and one there. quite a good thing for me to do on stream this, because I can talk and not have to think about it. The coding earlier, I was struggling a bit and kept messing things up that I shouldn't have been doing because I was talking. So maybe doing more stuff like this is going to be more beneficial on streams. Right, I think for now that level is pretty much got to be okay. We've got a spawn point there, one there, one there. Yeah, so that's pretty much done. Right, well I think that's probably a suitable point to end the stream. Just check chat. I don't like the first stitch for crochet. It's more than I know, Joseph. But no, thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to be streaming. I'm doing a 60-minute game jam this week. I'm planning on live streaming the 60 minutes. We already know the theme. The theme's madness, which I think basically any game that you're making 60 minutes going to fit that theme. So I'm planning on probably streaming that Friday afternoon or maybe tomorrow evening, but I'll put it down as a premiere on YouTube whenever I'm doing it, so that there's a bit of warning for anyone that wants to drop by and watch. Cheers Joseph, that'll be good. But thanks all for coming by, and I'll see you all later.